"What do you think, Boots? Time to—" I stopped mid-sentence and cocked an ear toward a sudden sound outside my bedroom window that overlooked a carefully cultivated rose garden. A scratching sound, followed by 2 thumps. What in the other world? Howling winds, scraping branches, and even occasional thunderstorms were not an uncommon occurrence at the Beechwood Manor. The 120-year-old house sat atop a bluff overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and typically suffered damage each year from windstorms and other forces of nature. Normally, I wasn't fazed by the weather. As an elemental witch, I was in tune with nature, and found that extreme weather only enhanced my magic. In fact, some of my favorite potion recipes had been born in the middle of a nice howler. The only time I bemoaned a good storm was if the rain threatened a beloved pair of suede heels. It hadn't been particularly windy earlier, when I'd been out for an evening walk around town, but things changed quickly on the coast. But those thumps? Those were definitely new. A muted thump sounded beside me as Boots jumped to the floor, tail twitching. As my familiar, he fancied himself something of a guard cat and had obviously heard the disturbance outside the window, too. "Boots!" I hissed, but all I saw was a tawny-colored rear end snaking through the bedroom door and out into the hallway. Boom! I jumped as another loud crash sounded outside my window. Who would be out in the flower beds at this time of night? Or even worse, what? I fisted my hands together and marched out the door, following the trail Boots had just taken. The Beechwood Manor was a historic mansion turned B&B, then converted to a safe house for displaced supernaturals, like myself. Currently, I was sharing the house with a saucy vampiress named Lacey Vaughn, a shifter named Adam St. James, and a newcomer named Gary, whom I hadn't quite puzzled out yet. Of my 3 housemates, I had a good idea who was most likely the culprit behind the midnight hullabaloo. Adam St. James. Despite his name, there was nothing saintly about the man. He was charming, clever, and absurdly good-looking. The problem was that he knew it. Lost in thought, I didn't see Boots in the dimly lit hallway until I nearly tripped over him. He growled at the impact, but then began to weave around my ankles, rubbing his head against my legs. I conjured a small orb of light to guide us the rest of the way. "Sorry, Bootsy." He peered up at me and blinked once, looking pointedly at my legs. I groaned as I realized I was about to go outside wearing my hot pink pajama pants with cartoon pineapples splashed across them. Oh, Adam was going to have a field day when he saw them. "Come on," I muttered, as the 20-pound cat continued to circle my legs. With the tip of my slipper, I nudged him out of the way and made a beeline for the front doors of the manor. If Adam was out there causing a ruckus, I had to stop him before someone in the neighborhood got suspicious. The last thing I needed was the cops showing up, nosing around and asking a bunch of questions.